actually going to work on. See, the first thing as far as the instant pay raise that they're going to look at, guys, is they're going to look at, say, wait a minute, when they want that last year's tax return, that's important because they're going to say, if you got a refund, did you get a refund? Because if they got a refund, got on line 74 of that tax return 1040, it stipulates, it says right there, the amount that you overpaid. See, the first thing in getting instant pay raise is stop overpaying the IRS. They're giving them a free loan. They lending them money, and they're not paying them interest on that money. Just give them back what you just overpaid. No. We're not going to overpay. We're going to get that money back. Immediately that becomes it. So Money Master's going to say, wait a minute. Let me see your last year's tax return. You got a refund. Let's stop overpaying. Instant pay raise immediately there without the deductions. Then they're going to say, here's all the deductions that you qualify for. You have the kid in between ages 7 and 17. You do have a car that you're driving, okay? You're doing those things now. So now let's get additional money back with deductions so you don't have to pay the IRS anymore. They are going to do all of this here, okay, and 2. But you can explain that actually to them as far as the step A, B, and C, and just they're going to end up doing it. Now, 3, you're going to move on. After they do all that and they adjust the W-4, the next thing that they're going to actually guide them to do and they have to do is important. Remember I said the IRS said that you need the intent to generate a profit, you need to actively participate, and then you need to do what? Keep good records. Because here's why this is important, guys. Because even if you are using the vehicle as an example, and you're using that vehicle for business purposes, that's good. But do you know if you do not track those and keep records of those, if you end up getting audited, and you can get audited for any reason, you can have something a mistake and something just not on the tax return actually right, okay, or it's just a draw. The computer just popped you up and you're getting audited. And if you get audited and the IRS basically asks you, to verify the numbers on your tax return of the expenses that you claim. And if you claim 10,000 miles as business expenses, and then when they say, hey, let me see that mileage log, if you do not have a mileage log that basically gives the purpose of the trip, okay, the destination itself, the date, and the mileage, they, whether you did it for business or not, can disallow the expense. So we want to make sure that everybody's compliant when they're getting the instant pay raise. So we want to make sure that, hey, they're keeping good records. How do we make it easy for them? We're going to say, hey, step 3, you're going to set up and activate the TaxBot app for automatic mileage and expense tracking. Going to set up and activate the TaxBot app for auto mileage and expense tracking. We're going to make sure that, guys, the TaxBot is an excellent program that they get included with the membership, okay? And if you're listening to, this now or listening to the recordings it plays, if your TaxBot is not activated, when you get finished with the training, you need to do that. You need to put it on your phone and put it on your desktop, okay? Why? Because you cannot take those expenses if you do not have them as far as recorded and documented. So, real easy again, actually real quick, guys. They get the deduction, instant pay raise, by 1, starting their business. The business is MWR Financial Home-Based Business. They can get the financial edge and have the intent to generate a profit. They're trying to make money. They do that. They then can qualify for the instant pay raises, okay? The Money Max is their expert on their very next call. First thing that they want to do within 24 hours, they want to schedule that consultation. They're going to do the work. They're going to talk to the client for you. They're going to analyze the expenses. They're going to convert it to business. They're going to adjust it. They're going to look at the last tax returns. They're going to make sure you're not overpaying the IRS. They're going to basically do all of that for them. Once they send it in, they're going to also guide them to what? Now here's your record-keeping system. This is your record-keeping system. Now I want you to understand what you just have in this business, just to understand. This $120 per month, you now have your CPA on retainer along with your record-keeping system. That alone is worth that. That alone is worth that. Okay? CPAs normally actually charge hundreds of dollars per hour just to talk to them. Look at the mileage tracking system, how much actually that they actually cost. Look at the expense, how much they cost. So it's worth it. But the cool part about this, phase 1, is to make sure before you go to phase 2 that they are understanding what their advantages are in the instant pay raise. Number one, they need to understand, okay, the advantages of getting an instant pay raise is right here. It says they get an instant pay raise, and the national average is $300 to $600 a month. Do you understand that? Yes, I understand that. You saw me because you wrote it there, right? You saw it. Then the next one says, do you understand that this eliminates the cost of business and the membership? They understand that because they're looking at it. They see 310 is a whole lot more than 228 to start and $120 a month. Okay? Then do they understand that it provides them immediate monthly cash flow? Because if they're saving more here than what the monthly of 120 is, that's immediate what? Cash flow. Do not go to phase 2 until they understand phase 1. If you have to go back and repeat phase 1, do so.
How is America the wealthiest country in the world and so many people are struggling? Easy. Colleges teach you to get a job. There is no entrepreneurship class. It's an elective, but there's no entrepreneurship curriculum. Why is that? Well, it's real easy. Corporations pay the endowments that tell colleges what to teach. That's why you learn economics. That's why you learn business administration. That's why you learn finance. But you learn it conceptually. You don't learn it tactically. In other words, they teach you the bell curve. They teach you supply and demand. But if the professor really understood what he was teaching, he wouldn't be there. He would be wealthy. And I'm not saying people who teach don't understand economics. Don't misunderstand the point. What's up, Lisa Lise? What I'm saying is real simple. Business administration, finance, marketing, okay, and economics, the things they teach you in school are taught in a format and curriculum so that you can go make somebody else wealthy. Because if the educator really understood supply and demand, he would be creating a demand for his supply. If the educator really understood economics, he would understand that instead of teaching it in a classroom setting, he can empower more people if he developed a program or an institution strictly for that subject matter, not the watered down version where they come and see him for an hour and a half or 2 hours every other day. If the professor really understood marketing, he would get with other people and start to market things that generate revenue that change the school system. So the people who teach you are teaching you conceptually. They don't teach you tactically. So the endowments that pay for education systems are done so via corporate America. Therefore, education systems and colleges and universities have to teach what corporate America wants them to teach, or the funding stops. If corporations, if the school systems start teaching entrepreneurship 101, then there's no need for employees to come to the corporations who are paying the endowments. Guys, listen, your alumni dues aren't enough to cover the cost of the institution. So they have to get money from corporations. So if you're going to get money from me, you're going to teach what I say. And that's why the school system is outdated, because the same companies that want you to get a degree to come and see them are cutting back on the jobs that they're telling you they have.
I'm looking for every freaking angle, dude. I go in thinking I'm going to rip off the IRS, and I'm going to do it without breaking the law. Okay, so how can I do this? Okay, for instance, how can I pay somebody $168,000 last year and they get to claim a loss of $8,638? This person's retired. All income hits her bottom line. Okay, I send her a check for $168 over 12 months. And then at the end of the year, I send her a K-1, called a K-1 form. She's an investor in my real estate. And I send her what looks like a loss of almost $9,000. She didn't have a loss. All she had was income. But the way they wrote the law, the way they write that law, is I'm able to do some things with my real estate that allow her to pass on a loss to her, okay? A loss to her. And she's able to take that loss and say, hey, she paid less taxes this year on more income than ever in her life. the whole thing's flipped, okay? But you got to know, one way to make income is to drive income, and another way to make income is to drive expenses down. You end up with more income. A third way is to not pay taxes, okay? And taxes are one of your biggest expenses. Consider that somebody that's making $45,000 a year, okay? Making $45,000 a year, I think this number was $965, okay? The food bill, the rent is $1,550. Okay, person's screaming about rent. Rent is terrible. We're getting ripped off in rent. I want to own a home. Okay, $150 for utilities, $1,160 for daycare, $200 for a car, $400 for groceries. What's the biggest one up there? Nobody even knows it, man. You know why? Because they take it from you first. Don't give them that money. Okay, don't give them that money. You paying a refund means you're not paying attention. Remember this. Paying a refund means being paid a refund means you weren't paying attention. Dude, you want to lower that thing to zero. Man, if I could get it to zero, why did I move from California? Beautiful weather, California, beautiful. Man, I lived in Lionel Richie's house. I had it made. Why would I leave there? Because they stole my money. Right? You come in my house and you start stealing my stuff, dude, I'm going to shoot you. Okay? So I got to figure out, how do I lock the house down? You guys got vaults and safes and protect your stuff, lock your car up. You're not locking up your money before it even leaves you. Go ahead, Robert.
So get your tax form to do the process all over again. And the second thing is, can you clear up write-off? I don't know if I fully understand the process of write-off.
So Robert's a single dude, okay? Robert's a video guy, okay? Robert does video here. Robert also does advertising for our company. And he creates, and Robert's got a lot of income now. Robert's gone from making $40,000 or $50,000 a year to $140,000 a year. Is that right? So his tax bill is going to go up. So let's just take his deal. I'll just take his deal. Let's say he makes $145,000 a year. The government's going to take from you right away. I guarantee you, they're trying to get.
They take like about
$30,000 from you right off the top.
They take a lot, dude.
Okay, probably more than that. That's only 20%.
Yeah.
Okay, they're probably closer to 30%, which would be $42,000. That's at 30%, that's at 20%, all right? Now, Robert's job is to get this bill down to as low as possible, okay?
Spent $1 million in one day. So I know nothing about financial literacy. My agent calls me and said, hey, I got a check for $1 million. So shit, you know me, I already had that black Mercedes lined up. So I said, I'm about to go get the Mercedes with the wheels, the pull-out deck. So it costs $150. So when I get back to the crib, my dad said, where's mine at? So in my mind, I'm like, $1 million, mine is $150. Shit, I got $850 left, right? So I go buy him one, I go buy my mother one. You know, I get some ice, I get some earrings, I get a couple of suits. So I get a call from the bank manager. He says, you spend $1 million. And I was like, no, I didn't. So then when I'm looking at the paperwork, I see FICA. Now I get mad. I'm like, hey, I don't know no motherfucking FICA. He took $200,000. No, I don't. So I had no idea what FICA and income sales tax, state tax. I had no idea what that was. So then I said, okay, I don't want to be like the rest of these NBA players. I got to teach myself, because this is something that we don't know. Like, you know, my family work paycheck to paycheck. We never had no money, but I had to get that Benz. I had to get my mom a Benz. Like, I just had to get that first. So after I spent that $1 million in a day, I sort of, educated myself. Yeah. And it's okay not to know nothing. So if you don't know nothing, you just ask questions. Yeah. So everybody I saw that was successful, how you do that? How you do that? How you
appreciate you, Mr. John.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. John. Hey. Yeah, something. No, this say 225. Y'all go get that reprinted. Remember, we worked 60 hours, 20 hours overtime. Right. My check supposed to be over a rank. You feel me, y'all? Yeah, and it got all this paper explaining it.
It says 40 hours and
20 overtime.
Yeah, it's all there.
Who? And somebody named FICA don't stole it. Go hit FICA up. Y'all made a mistake.
That's the government. They take their share.
FICA?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up with Social Security? What's that? My grandma got that.
When you retire?
She asked for money. When I retire,
Yeah.
I'm gonna retire as soon as this over with my probation officer. This just to get in the door, make it seem like I want to work. Call them back and tell them to send that back too. And who is CCDS support?
Child support.
Child support.
Yeah.
Who told them? Y'all told child support?
We have to
They
tell
watching
everybody.
me?
We have to tell them everything.
So y'all report it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah. I'ma live out. So this is where I get the whole week. This ain't nothing. Mr. Johnson, how I supposed to survive?